to say dealing with upsetting situations. So, I'm not going to talk about the upsetting situation that I faced today, but there was an upsetting situation that I faced at work. And I know that the way I responded to it today is not the way that I would have responded to it yesterday. Not literally yesterday, but figuratively, Mark of today is not the same as the one of yesterday. It's funny when everybody tells me nowadays, I'm not as nice as you, Mark. I wouldn't have handled that as well as you have. That couldn't have been me in that situation, Mark. And I understand that. I am a nice person inherently, but I've snapped at a lot of people in my lifetime. And that is in personal settings, in work settings, a lot of different settings that I have let people know how I feel. But I'm different than I was back then. Because back then, I would just do whatever I wanted to do or say whatever I want to say and feel like there's not going to be to that. Because I'm like, it's a free country. I can do and say as I please. Leave me alone. Until I faced situations where I had consequences, losing a job or getting a write up or, other consequences for other things, which I'm not necessarily going to get into, but I have faced consequences for having strong, quick reactions. So, one of the things that I have learned in my 35, soon to be 36 years of my life is to think twice before I respond. And not just to think twice. When I find myself in a situation where I'm so angry that I can't think straight, I excuse myself from the situation until I can. It's like instead of sitting there and letting the pot boil over, turn the temperature down a little bit in ways that you can. For me, turning down the temperature might mean going outside and taking a walk, or it might mean talking to my safe people that I know that I can just vent to unfiltered, and they provide me a safety net. It could be throwing on some calming music. It could be, some cases it could be talking to a therapist if that's an option, but that's not always an option in the middle of a moment if you're having a crisis in the middle of the day. But the point being is you get to a point where you start to know yourself. And if you know that you are inherently one way, if you know the things that trigger you, if you know the things that make you upset and react, they can teach you all the stuff they want. They can teach you all the theories. They can teach you the cognitive behavioral therapy. They can teach you all the different learned responses to different triggers, and they can teach you how to have different outcomes to your behaviors and all that good stuff. I've gone through a lot of therapy, so I've been talked to about that stuff a lot. But I think inherently who we are is who we are. I think that by nature we can't change that, but what we can do is to learn our response to those triggers and to figure out the best method that works for us. And like I said, I figured out years ago that my best method for me when something really gets me angry to the point of being detrimental to myself time. I just need a little bit of time to cool down. And by the time I've cooled down and revisited it, either it doesn't seem as important when I come back to it, or even if it is still important to me, I can think clearly and figure out my next plan of action with a clear mind instead of an angry mind. Because an angry mind can't solve anything. An angry mind just wants to find somewhere to place that energy. And this is something that happened in school. People think that I was probably a model citizen in school, but my mom has this book of these write-ups that I got in school. There was a lot of them. I got write-ups, I got suspensions, I got a bunch of things. And it was because of that simple skill. I didn't know how to express myself when I felt like I was done wrong. So it just came across as, this is an angry kid just acting out. When really, anytime that I was acting out was because I felt like an injustice was done to me. But instead of just, I feel upset because this and this and this, this was done and I don't think it's right or whatever, and having that skill to have the conversation, I just wanted to bite back. This person's fighting me, I gotta hit back. They punch me, I gotta punch back. That was just my mentality. But now I am able to sit back and say, okay, well, this is not a good time for me to address this or deal with this. And some people don't like that. Some people are like, oh, I need to deal with this right now. Let's talk about this right now. That doesn't work for me. And it's better for all parties, but especially me, because that's what I'm thinking about the most. It's better for me if I don't respond right now, because if I respond right now, you're not going to get the best of me. I'm not going to get my point across properly. And it's just not going to be beneficial. So this is just a short video that I'm making about, something that I've learned about myself and how it benefited me today. And look inside yourself and think about those moments for you and figure out the best toolkit that works for you, because everybody's toolkit is individual. I was watching my old life coach Shar posted up this clip from this interview that I did with her, where she said, we're all going through our curriculum called life. The thing about a curriculum, in school, they give you the curriculum, right? In life, you make your own curriculum. So you're going through life, you're facing things, you're learning things every day. My curriculum is not going to look like your curriculum, and the better that you get to know yourself is the better that you are going to get along in life. I hope somebody got something from this message. As always, thanks for your support. Big Brother's coming. We got 2 weeks until the Big Brother premiere. Not the premiere, but 2 weeks until the special. They're doing like a Big Brother special the week before the premiere. And then they're doing the premiere on August 2nd. I'm going to be in the building with a lot of Big Brother and stars from other shows. And I anticipate that being a good time. I'm going to get you guys with some footage. I'm going to try to get some live footage. But I'll tell you guys the reason why I sometimes don't do live footage at events is because sometimes the reception isn't good in the venue. And also sometimes the events they have music in the background. So when the music is playing, right, YouTube has this thing, detects the music, takes the video down, and that's that. So I will definitely have some video footage of after I don't know how much I'm going to get during, but I'm going to try my best. And how y'all doing? Let me know in the comments. And I'll talk to you soon.